What's up everyone, Zach Seif here, and today we're going to go over my new metalcore guitar tone. For those of you who are new here, welcome to the channel. My name's Zach Seif. I post regular content on what it's like being a full-time musician in today's modern music industry, so be sure to leave a like and subscribe so that you don't miss any of my videos. Metalcore is one of those genres that's been around for 2.5 decades at this point, and everyone has their favorite era, whether you like the real early stuff with like Shadows Fall, Killswitch Engage, and As I Lay Dying, some of the newer stuff that came out after that, such as We Came as Romans and Asking Alexandria, or some of the modern metal stuff such as Spirit Box, Sleep Token. Every subgenre of metal usually starts out as a combination of one or more things, and this was the combination of heavy metal and hardcore music, and elements of black metal were also in there as well, and you get this real hectic, chaotic blend of stuff that just works really well together, where you have insane guitar riffs that are technical and fast, you have screamed and or clean vocals, you have really big choruses, you have really awesome breakdowns, and that stuff was just really exciting in the 2000s and 2010s. And even today, even though it's a bit more melodic based and the guitars are tuned twice as low, I mean back then we were drop D to drop B flat, and nowadays we're going all the way down to double drop E, double drop D, C sharp 0, but the core of the music is still relatively the same. So today I'm going to talk about how I achieve that tone on a daily basis with my Fractal audio gear. This preset works for the Axe-Fx III, FM9 and FM3. If you want it, it will be available for purchase. Just shoot me an email or hit me up on Instagram. But with that out of the way, let's go check out this awesome new guitar tone that I can't stop playing. So today I wanted to go over this new metal preset that I created recently that I think works perfect for all the styles of metal that I love playing on a regular basis, including, but not limited to, metal, heavy metal, metalcore, deathcore, gent, whatever you want to call your favorite subgenre of metal, it can be done with this one preset. So let's start with the most important part of this preset, which is absolutely the amplifier. This is based off of a PV6505 Plus classic legendary metalcore style amplifier that probably all of your favorite bands use on all of your favorite recordings. So the trick to this amp is getting it to dial in where you get saturation and sustain, but you don't get a lot of low-end boom and mud. So for that, you're going to want to dial in the gain somewhere between 5 and 7. If you have active pickups, probably somewhere on the low end. If you have passive pickups, somewhere on the higher end of that. And then when it comes to the 3-band EQ, I keep the bass right in the middle because I get just enough bottom end so when I dig into palm mute, if I get a good response. But it's not falling apart and getting muddy and breaking up like a Marshall or certain Mesa style amps do, like a dual rectifier. Mid-range we're keeping really low, and it's not just because of the whole scooped mids thing, but it's because this is a very mid-range heavy amp, and if you set it too high, it doesn't give you the same sound that you're going for. Finally, we get to the treble. You don't want it to be too bright, but you do need to cut through, especially for different things like octave leads. So you can have a little bit of sizzle on the way in, and then you can just remove it later on if you want to. Presence and depth, I'm just keeping at 3. I feel like any higher on the depth, you're getting too much into that low and low mid area that the bass is going to want to sit in, and too much presence and it just gets too shrill. Master volume is to taste, level is to taste as well, as long as you're not clipping the output of your Fractal. Next, we have to talk about the cabinet. The speaker cabinet is the single most important thing. You can throw any high gain amp into the amp block, but if you have the wrong cabinet, it's never going to sound right. You got to go with the 4x12 Mesa Boogie style cabinets. And the reason that we're going for these is because they just have the right tone. The Vintage 30 speaker is going to give us the mid-range that we want, the low end that we need, and the high end that's pleasant enough that it complements the amplifier tone. A couple small tweaks that we're making here in the low cut and the high cut. Both slopes are set to 12 dB so that it's nice and gradual, and we're cutting 100 Hertz on the low end and we're cutting 6,000 on the high end. This is so that we can still get the fullness of the tone that we want and get it really wide range, but it doesn't give us the mud and rumble that we're going to cut out later anyway when we're mixing, and it allows the bass guitar to sit a little bit better, and it also allows the cymbals and the sibilance and brilliance and definition of the vocal to sit on top of that. The only other thing we really need is an overdrive in front, and it's picking the right one. We're going with the Maxon 808 instead of the Ibanez 808 because it just does that metalcore thing a little bit better. I'm keeping the drive at 0, tone at 7, level in the middle, and it gives you that classic kind of response. So here's what the tone sounds like with the overdrive off. on. It just adds a little aggression, it tightens up the low end, and it just makes everything sound a bit more concise and defined, which is what we want. For solos, slightly different overdrive. We're going back to the Ibanez 808 because it just gives you a little bit more of a mid-range hump, which is nice to cut through the mix. And then just my personal favorite dual delay. So again, just adding a little bit of space and a little bit of a different EQ there, just so your leads kind of sit somewhere else in the mix and they're not clashing with the rhythm tones, especially in a mix or playing live. So when it comes to the clean channel, there's usually not a ton of clean sections in this style of music, but when there are, it's a very distinct tone. It's either a high gain amp that's kind of like on the edge of breakup, or it's a super clean tone from like a jazz chorus or a deluxe reverb or even a pod, you know, sort of tone. So this is what I settled on because I don't like a lot of breakup in my clean tone, and it sounds like this. So again, really straightforward, just a little bit of delay to add some space and ambient. Sometimes you might add some reverb or a chorus, but this is kind of what I stuck with for this specific tone. So now that we've broken down the tone and gone over everything about it, let's hear how it sounds in a mix. That just about wraps up today's video. I appreciate you guys checking this video out. I enjoyed walking you through my process of creating a tone like this step by step and sharing some of my tips and tricks. I do also offer one-on-one fractal consultations. If you guys are ever interested in that, again, shoot me a message, shoot me an email, DM me on Facebook or Instagram. I've been doing these sessions for months, and I've helped people really improve their guitar tones and also their knowledge and understanding of the Fractal ecosystem. If you guys want more content on the regular social media, I post there every single day, sharing all sorts of aspects from my life, from touring and gigging to what I'm doing on here to the stuff I do with Quantum Industries to the YouTube videos, you name it, it's on there. Until next time, everyone, keep on practicing and keep on following your dreams.